It is preparing. Let's see what happens.
Here it goes. Yeah, this meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
Hey, hey. All right, so I'm going to turn down this. Let's see what happens.
Here it goes.
Yeah, there we go. All right, can you hear me?
I can.
Yes. Sí o no?
Sí.
All right. So we're on YouTube, guys. Hello.
Oh.
We are live here with Karimah Campbell. And this is our 17th episode of Inspired Talks. And today, obviously, you see someone's missing. So we've got just me. Lorena is out today, but she'll be back another time. So sorry, but for the feedback, I'm still figuring this thing out. Lorena's usually really good at this. Okay, so we have Karimah Campbell.
Hey,
put your hands up. Let's go for Karimah. And okay, this is a long time coming. Karimah and I have known each other.
We don't even have to say the years. Okay.
Yeah,
7 years. It's been a long time. We don't need to age ourselves.
Yes, we don't need to age ourselves. And that is so, yeah, it is amazing. We are doing our thing.
Yeah.
And I've known Karimah since I moved to LA.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We don't need to say how long ago that was either.
I know, yeah. And so Karimah is from Florida originally, Jamaican-American, and she has done so much in the acting industry. So I just want to introduce her. And, you know, she's now been in shows such as Snowfall, Shameless, Everything's Trash. Hopefully you guys know these shows, Cleaning Lady. And, you know, it didn't, happen for her right away. And it took her some time to kind of find what she calls her essence, her brand, and starting out, just filling it out for herself and then finding that special thing that she had that she could, help give the world, and her, talents, her beauty, everything, herself. And now she's doing all these amazing things. And she has her own branding company that she just started this year, right? Very new.
Late last year. So I want to say like October or September of last year, maybe November of last year, something like that. But late last year, I want to say October is like when my clients started really picking up. So yeah, it's really brand new. It's not baby. Wait, Nell, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Sorry. Yeah. Is it playing on your computer? Can you hear feedback? I'm just gonna say, okay, cool. I'm gonna let you talk.
Okay. So,
I'm hearing things. So.
Oh, I do hear a little bit of feedback. Are you pressing something to hear feedback?
To not hear feedback. Anyhow. Again, this is the thing of live.
I do hear a little feedback, but it's totally fine. I only hear it on your end. I don't hear it on mine. But yeah, like Janelle said, I've known you for a long time. Not a lot of people know, but like I started out dancing. And that was just like a wild time. It was like, I want to describe it as like the Wild Wild West. Like really just like auditioning a ton and hoping to go on tour. And what sprung me into acting truly was, I think I got an audition from my dance agent for a commercial dance, like a dance commercial. And I booked it and I did like very little dancing. And I was like, and I did some acting, just like very small. And I was like, wait a minute. I saw that paycheck and I was like, wait a minute. I think not because of the paycheck alone, the paycheck helped, but I was like, I kind of just want to explore into this. I don't know if you even remember, Nelly. Like, I was like, I think I'm going to take an acting class. And you're like, you should. And like, from then I just kind of went towards that direction, and I was studied, went to a drama conservatory. I was like, drama, acting class is life. And I spent a while doing that, taking headshots, and nothing really hit for me. I would get agents, and they'd just be like, you're great. We don't know what to do with you. I'd get these like general headshots. And I really spent years and years like trying to take workshops, trying to do this, trying to do that, and not like knowing who I was and what essence I brought into roles. I literally just was like, oh, just put me anywhere. I don't know. I act. And like, that's just not how the business works at all. And so I want to say about like a few years ago, I just quit just like really acting because I was so frustrated with the business and not really getting a lot of auditions. Maybe I would get, this is so terrible to say out loud, but I want to be completely transparent. I probably was getting like maybe 6 auditions a year from acting. Like that's nothing, with my old agencies. And, I would get dropped or because I didn't book, and who books with 6 auditions a year anyway? You cannot, it's a numbers game. And then sometimes I drop people because I'd be like, I didn't go out for 6 months. Like, what is happening? So I quit. It was like, I'm going to show the industry, and I quit. And then I came back and nobody missed me. So like, I did that for no reason. But I did say to myself when I came back into acting that I needed to be strategic and have some sort of strategy. And I sat down with like a casting friend of mine, showed her like all my stuff. And she's like, great tape, but like your headshots are general. Like, I don't know what to do with you. And I was like, oh, well, what do I do? And she's like, yeah, like, what is your essence? What is your brand? Like, what shows could you be on today? And I was like, I don't know, Grey's Anatomy. Like, she's like, well, everyone could be on that.
I remember that answer. And the funny thing too is when I first moved here, you were helping me with my headshots, and
Crazy.
I remember that.
Your dance headshots.
Yes. And they were the best headshots ever. Like that, like from hair to makeup to like the whole thing. And we were just, having fun, we were just having fun. And I think that's what, maybe was lost at, at that time, right? It was just that.
Yeah, it became like a job trying to do all these things. And I lost the fun out of it, which is why I did quit. And I lost the direction as well. Nelly, I do remember helping you. Whoa.
Yeah. And that's why this doesn't surprise me that you're doing this because you were just so in it. And like when you were there with me and we had our own, MUA and photographer and stuff, but you were like the one helping me with like all of that direction. And
so weird.
Maybe like, right?
Yeah, full circle, right?
Mm-hmm. And I still use those pictures, girl. I still break them out. So your girl. But okay, going back to that, that kind of change in direction, and what did it for you? Like, was it just the questions that were asked from the?
Yeah, but I had no idea where I belonged, which is kind of like death of an artist. You don't want to pigeonhole yourself so much, but you should know like where your essence is. For instance, like if you're a musician and you sing, like what type of music do you sing? Is it R&B? Is it folk? Is it, you could do everything, but like what does your voice like really like nail and like really melt into, right?
Right. So is that essence in your eyes? Like, I know there's like, what is your definition of this essence for the viewers out there? Like, don't know. What does that mean?
So great. So I think, great question. So I think I describe it like going to a barbecue where everyone brings their own barbecue sauce. but like nobody is going to make it your barbecue sauce like how you make it. So for instance, if there's a lawyer role, correct? Like what type of lawyer are you? Are you like the go-getter lawyer? Are you kind of like passive? Are you the one that just started and you're kind of meek? Are you the shady one? You know, and that's just natural qualities that you have in yourself that you bring to every single role. Whereas like when we watch TV, even though Robert De Niro plays different roles, he brings this like Robert De Niro like sauce to everything, you know what I mean? And it's like that kind of New York swaggy sauce that he brings that we all love, you know, which makes Robert De Niro. Like Viola Davis brings this like grounded, like great vulnerability to all of her roles, which that's her essence. So I think sometimes, and what I was taught in theater school and conservatory, that like essence and like branding was a bad thing. They're like, of course you could just play anything. And I think when you're starting out, it's smarter just to know what your essence is, to get those kind of low hanging fruits. And when you get a little bit like more established, you can kind of veer off a little bit. I think when you just start and you're like, I could play everything, then people just don't know where to put you. And then you get shelved. Like,
yeah.
Muzzle. So what I did is I started watching TV a ton. I was like, okay, let me see what worlds I fit into. Let me see what essence I fit into, like really easily. Nothing I need to force, right?
Right.
And I started breaking it down from there. I started tracking the colors of the shows. I started like going back and seeing what type of headshots those actors used that were already booked to get on these shows. And I was like, okay, like there's a formula to this. And so I tried it on myself. And the first time I did it, I got 7 agent meetings, like in January, pilot season before 2020, like before the year, you know, the world shut down. RIP to the world we once knew. And so
whole new world.
Right. Like, so and I noticed right away people were like excited to meet with me because I had a headshot that reflected my essence, reflected worlds I could be in, and it was specific, right? And every one of those agents wanted to sign. You know, I didn't get anyone, you know, that was like, I don't know what to do with you. Cause like I've had meetings prior years where people are like, I mean, and like you don't ever want to sign to someone that's like, I'm not sure. Right. That's just
that's nope.
Bad sign going in. So that happened, at the beginning of 2020. It was the beginning of 2020, the world's that January pilot season where they tell you like, you can't reach out because like, it's crazy. And it's like, it's never a great time to reach out and it's never a bad time. Like,
right.
Just do it. So I did that, I got signed. And then in 2020, I booked my first 2 network shows. And then I booked 2 commercials. I always worked commercially. I just want to say prior.
We know. Well, I know.
You know.
Everyone else doesn't know. But yeah, you would show me your little McDonald's commercials. And like, I was always really proud of like, that's my friend. You know.
So I always worked commercially because I always had smiling headshots that worked there. But I could not like the generic smiling headshots. And I think that worked well commercially back then. It just didn't transfer over.
Right.
To TV and film.
Yeah, totally different, huh?
Oh, totally different. And I was like trying to make it happen and it didn't. So I did that and I was like, okay, I saw myself getting a ton of like comedy auditions and I was like, all right, I really love drama. Let me do the same process. And I did that. And you know, the year after I booked more TV shows and even more commercials. Like the more specific I got to my essence is the more I started getting called in for the things that were right for me. And the more I was likely to get called back, pin, avail, or book.
Amazing.
So I just want to make it clear that like, it's not that you can't go out of your type. There's always rules to the exception. but throwing spaghetti on the wall, like I did for a lot of years, just is just not effective for anything.
Right. You lose time, you lose money, you lose, yeah. I feel like that in our space, in the fitness space, because it's like you're constantly getting certifications and, you know, all these things, which is very important. But if there's something specific that you're good at, you know, I kind of feel that way too. It's like, okay, what are you really good at doing, and where do you fall? Yeah,
you're like not forcing it, right?
Right.
There's somebody else that could come in that can, like, you know, like if you're going out for instance, a cowgirl thing, like a cowgirl role, there's like a real cowgirl out there that's going to come and do that naturally without you trying to like force like you're from Alabama. Like there's someone that's really from there that could really come and do that. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. So awesome. So that's amazing to see the transformation that you went through, you know, from I don't know if it's like your bottom, like your rock bottom type place.
Bottom. You got it bottom. Right. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And we all kind of have to go. I feel like, I don't know if we have to, but we oftentimes go through that because, you know, maybe it's something that we need to go through. I don't know. But to help save other people, you know, from going through that, you have this amazing branding company now that is out there helping other people to kind of, you know, flush through that and not have to go through all that work, you know, and just, you know, that's amazing. That you did that and you saw so much value in the essence, as they say.
Yes, the essence.
Yes. The essence, everyone.
Yes, the essence. Because really, truly, like, it's no different than what like these bigger companies are going for, right? Like, so you're not going to go to Apple to buy, you know, French fries. Like, you're going to go to McDonald's for the French fries, Apple for the phones and the computers. Like, you know what I mean? People are doing something specific.
Right. And they're the best at what they do, right?
Hello. So it's like the Apple store was like, and also we have a restaurant like serving Korean food. We'd be like, what? Like, we have a place to go to for that. BCD is amazing. They didn't even pay me for
that. I know, it's been a while. It's
been a while for that. You put me onto it.
I did. Yeah, when my family was here, I definitely brought them there and they loved it. So I know. BCD guys, Koreatown. Shout out to BCD.
Also open 24 hours. There's no excuse for you not to
go. Okay, I know. We're always talking about food. It's always something. I mean, we're all foodies here, right? Yes. If you're part of our audience, you're definitely a foodie. Okay. Yes. So you know. So tell us something that you wish you would have known before you started. Like specifically, you already kind of talked about that, right? How you wish you knew more about your essence. But is there something else specifically that you could talk about that you wish you would have known about before you started your company even, or
I would say just even acting, I wish I knew how much weight the headshot picture was. Like, without your headshot is your calling card, and without a really good calling card, like, you're not going anywhere. Like, you're not getting in. It is the thing that's getting you into auditions. It's the thing that's getting you called in for a meeting for agency rep. Like, I had no idea. And had I like really sat down with myself, and I actually got a stylist this last round, and it made such a difference. Just really put that in. I mean, truly, Janelle, you know how we used to do? We used to like scramble like the night before for that wardrobe and be like, go to Forever 21, like, and it's like, that's a jumbleness of nothing, and that's how my headshots came out, just like a jumbleness of like vagueness. So I think that's the one thing I wish I had learned coming into the acting world, because that's what I teach And, it's essence and like headshot prep. It's a 4-week course. We go through like your target shows, what you could easily be on today, not like your dream shows, like your target shows, what you could be on today, like what's attainable for your essence, not just your skin color,
specifically
your
for
essence,
that person.
right?
Yes.
We studied the colors, the palettes, what wardrobes are they looking at? How are their hair? Does your hair like frame your face? A lot of us are holding on to bad haircuts or dated haircuts. No, stop it. I knew you were going to go back to yourself. This is not about you, Janelle.
I know. It's not.
But a lot of us are holding on to dated looks that just don't serve us anymore, just because a lot of us have just great memories with our long hair or our short hair or whatever.
So true.
And that's a lot of, although we're doing essence and headshot prep, it's also a lot of work for the inside out and letting go of all of like your old beliefs and your limited beliefs. Because that's another thing I wish I learned, like how important your mindset is. Like to have a positive mindset is what really propelled me, because I had to let go of my past failures.
Right.
I had to let go of like my past beliefs of like what I let other people tell me, what I let old teachers tell me, old classmates, what I told myself. In the past, I had to really change the way I was thinking. And once I did that and I did the work and I got back into good classes, got really great headshots, the rest, the universe, Allah, God, whatever you believe in, brought to me, and it felt easier this time than the last times I was doing it. Because the last time that I was doing it, I was like holding on so tight, and I was like, oh, this better happen for me or else. And that's just like not a way to go about it. Also, I was going about it by myself, which I should have reached out for help.
Right. Yeah. You can't do we're all in this, world alone, but we can't do what we do alone. You know what I mean? We need each other to help each other and lift each other up, which is why we're all here, right?
Yes.
Yes. And okay, so tell me any resources that have helped you along perhaps in your journey of your acting career, and any specific like gurus or books or anything that you would recommend that really kind of opened your eyes and inspired you to have that different mindset, or to kind of change habits perhaps, or whatever.
I was listening to I started reading a lot of books, listening to a lot of like meditations on YouTube about and just like daily affirmation. So I listened to this meditation. It's like 3 minutes on abundance.
Abundance.
And maybe we'll drop the link.
Oh yes, definitely.
So like they could get it. But I listened to it right before I have a callback on Zoom, or right before I have to go into a callback, before I put myself on tape. It's how I center myself. I have a pretty good mindset, but it's because I constantly work on it. So lots of meditation. I would say getting into a positive class. Jamie Renee Smith is like amazing.
Jamie Renee Smith.
Yeah, she's like just really gentle, but does push you. But when you're getting back into it, and I knew getting back into it, I needed someone just a little on the gentle side, because I already was like so insecure, so I could feel confident, build my confidence back again. And I felt like she had like a really great structure. Also, I wanted to learn how to self-tape. A lot of actors still struggle with that. And I was
especially now.
It's the only way. I've only booked jobs through self-tape.
Self-tape land.
It's self-tape.
That's all I hear my friends doing. They're like, oh my God, I had 6 self-tapes today. I'm so tired. But it's so tiring. It takes a lot of energy out of you just to do one even.
Oh, for sure. Sometimes like I'll have 7 a week or 8 a week, and it's like, it takes a lot out of you. But I remind myself, like, this is my job.
Yeah.
Like not booking work. Like that happens here and there. My job is to audition. Like that is truly my 9 to 5 now, is auditioning. That is the job. So I get myself in a really great mood before I even step into the self-tape world. I make sure that my mindset is correct and it's right. I also listen to a lot of episodes of the Think Bigger podcast because those had established actors. It's really good to like listen to established actors on like they had the same insecurities and like, you know, it's a numbers game. And they just kept at it and they didn't quit. And it's inspiring because it's not an overnight success. Those days are kind of numbered where people are getting discovered at the grocery store. It's not like 1946, okay? Like you're going to be in the field, like auditioning a ton, you know? And sometimes when you get it quick, sometimes you really don't appreciate it or you don't know how to sustain it. So really enjoy the process. Huh?
All you TikTokers.
Well,
you know, that's great. I love all the TikToker influencers. They're doing great things. It's crazy, you know, how the social media now is taken over. And it is very important to be in that space, right?
Absolutely.
How do you feel about that?
It doesn't bother me. I think however you need to get in, you know, get in how you fit in. Just know, like, after a while, once you're in, you're going to have to know how to sustain that. Like, you're going to really have to know how to act, you know? So, and I think and I'm hoping people are looking for the best actress for the role or the right actress that fits the role. Sometimes it's not the best performance, but it's the right actress, essence, right? That just like fits the role. So yeah, it doesn't make any difference to me. I think I'm just really confident in my craft at this point where I'm just like, it's not a matter of if, it's when. So whoever gets what they get, it was always their role. And if I don't get what I'm supposed to get at the time, it was never my role. And that's how I look at it. Like if I'm going to book a job, this was always mine. And if I wasn't, it never was.
Yeah, I'm like that too. Like, you know, if you missed out on an opportunity or something that you maybe wanted really badly, but then, you know, that's probably a sign that there's something better, you know, out there, you know. So awesome. Okay. So we usually have our quick fire rounds. You know, just kind of questions, just general about you. So I know you have a pet. Can you tell? Well, it's not really a question. Just tell people about your pet.
Oh my God. I have a pet. His name is Miko. He is my son. That is my firstborn.
Yes.
My first and my last born. I had no idea that being a dog mom is like a real life thing. It's like full time. Like listen, these dogs get sick on a whim. You're like, you were just running around yesterday. What you sniffling today for? Like, what's happening? My dog is a German miniature pinscher. He is old, so he has like a little salt and pepper hair. He's like, you know, a little George Clooney-ish, a gentleman, if you will. And he likes to cuddle. Well, you know this. He loves to cuddle. He's a stage 5 clinger. He loves to cuddle.
He's the cutest. He's the cutest. And we're all dog lovers here too. So Lorena has like, you know, 2-3 dogs, and I have a dog and a cat. So we're all pet lovers out here.
Yes, we know Bacon.
Yes, bacon. Okay. If you had a choice between 2 superpowers, being invisible or flying, which would you choose?
Invisible, because I'm nosy. So that's just what it is.
Okay. What's one question you wish I'd asked you that I didn't ask? Just before, you know.
I know. You know so much about me.
Right. I don't
seen a change. Can you imagine if you're like, you've been the same?
No, definitely not. No, we've all grown here.
Hopefully, right? The evolution. I think I would have liked you to ask me like what was my biggest fear coming up.
Ooh, yes. Okay. Can you tell us?
No, just kidding. I'll tell. Oh my God, am I gonna get teary-eyed? What's happening? Okay, so
I thought it was the cat because I know you're afraid of cats. I was like, this is well, knowing you because you would tell me to put my cat away and like long time ago.
Put that girl away.
Right. So I thought that would be one of your biggest fears.
No, not something I think about on the day-to-day. Oh my God. You're like cats?
Cats. Like, okay. Yeah, that's not your biggest fear. Whew.
I think I think my biggest fear was like, I just had a fear of being left behind.
Mm-hmm. Oh girl, I have that fear too.
I had like, and now I think I've done the work on myself and I've seen my career change with just my specificity and my headshots and like, and thank God, right? And I'm getting further and further in the process with like bigger roles. And I'm seeing like, oh, I'm getting closer and closer to getting like those leading roles that I want to get. But I had like such a fear of like this, like a time clock, like this like ticking hourglass time clock. And I was like, just like watching people that I started with, like just be on shows after shows after shows.
Yeah, that comparison.
I'd be on IMDb for hours. IMDb, like,
oh my goodness.
Like, just like the thief of joy is like, comparison is a thief of joy. And so I just really had a fear of like, I'm going to be left behind. Like everyone's going to get it except for me. Why isn't this happening for me? And, those are valid feelings, but like, it was a true day-to-day, like top of mind thought.
Well, that's amazing. You deserve all the success that you have, and people will be so lucky to work with you. Knowing who you are as a person, not just in the acting world, because as a person, now you're really funny, and you making me teary-eyed. But yeah, you're amazing. So happy to have you.
I do want everyone to know that Janelle is like a ball of vulnerability.
Oh my God.
It's not just me.
I'm dying. Where is my
watching
Jessica Love Hewitt? Where are you? I need to like, be no, she cries on a dime. I always like look at her and I was like, Jessica.
No, but like Jennifer at your house watching Grey's Anatomy, like religiously, and I don't think there's an episode where you didn't cry. Like your heart is so open. I look over and you're like,
I know it is raw over here.
I love
always, but it's not even. It's just because I feel so much like, again, I'm that empath. And sorry, it's Jennifer Love Hewitt. Sorry, it is. But she's that's who I would look at, and I'm like, I'm totally that girl.
Yeah.
But like, I would really admire like people like that can do that, like just hit an emotion, whether it's anger or sadness or whatever, and then they can just snap back, and I'm like, wow, that's some control.
Yeah, that's emotions.
Yeah, and it's a lot of training. So you've gone through all of that, and you're helping others do it, and helping others, get out there and be successful. And kudos to all of the work that you do. And let's see, what else? What's your favorite food? Because you did say Jamaican. Well, obviously you're Jamaican-American, but what is your favorite food?
Outside of
hard
Jamaican,
one.
It's outside of Jamaican. Janelle, I don't even know if you know this, but like you introduced me to sushi. I had never had sushi. where did you even go for that? I mean, now.
Oh yeah, Sushi Dan.
You introduced me to, I was like, what is this? So like you turned me on to sushi. Sushi is like my fave. Like I love sashimi. You turned me on to like mixing.
You're like the only one, because people like they're like, I don't like this sashimi, this raw thing.
The more raw, the better. And then you turn me on to like scooping up the little wasabi and then mix it into the soy sauce. Hey.
And yeah, it's so funny because not every, like, it's Japanese, right? Sushi is Japanese, but not every Japanese person likes wasabi. I found out because I would teach ESL and I found out, like, I'm like, oh, you like wasabi? They're like, no. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. You know, and
you also like spicy foods.
I do. Yes. And we both do. We both love the spicy. Okay, good. I think that is it. And I think that's all of my questions. I'm not sure if I missed one. Maybe there's let's see, what I can do one more.
Okay.
Let's try one more.
I'm ready.
Where can your listeners find you online?
Oh my God, that's a good one.
Where can we find you?
Okay, so on IG, it's Branding with Karimah. There's my website, www.brandingwithkarimah. We'll drop the link.com. And then also your listeners get 50% off if they want to sign up for my 4-week course.
Yes.
I make it fun. You come out with fire headshots. You can see the headshots that I've
they're fire.
They're fire. You're guaranteed fire headshots as long as you do the work. Okay. It's a good job. So IG, and I send out newsletters. So if you sign up for my newsletters on my website, I send out like weekly newsletters of just about Essence, how to find your branding, but like also about like my personal journey. It's almost like my little like diary, you know, and I just send it out. I got released from a few things, like shows, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was like devastated, and I wrote about it because I know the devastation. My devastation truly only lasts for like a day now, or like not even that long, maybe 3 hours, because you get so used to getting so close and not getting it. But I also want to share that with people and let them know, like, you're not alone. It's part of the journey, and like that means like you're getting closer. Like, hang in there, you know?
Right, because you definitely get more no's than yeses, and that's just how that comes with the job, right? That comes with entertainment business, right? You know, anything in entertainment and business, dance, singers, like there's so many things
in general, for sure.
Yeah. And you guys, you know, so if you're an entertainer, obviously you know this, and they're the most, you know, resilient people I think out there. I'm biased because I'm an entertainer, but I believe that. And yeah, so amazing, 15% off for all you listeners out there.
For the month of March. Don't try to hit me up in December talking about you want your 50%. It's for the month of March.
Month of March only.
Only.
Yeah, because so it's today's the 12th, guys.
So everyone
still got
tomorrow.
So many more days to get in, because like they can sign up, right? They can sign up anytime from in March, but can they work with you later? Like at a later time? Like Absolutely. If they do want to work with you in December.
Yeah. So like, I do have a date for you in December.
Okay, great.
As long as you put down like a deposit and we talk about it, you could save your spot. Like that's not a problem.
Yay. Yeah. So she's very reasonable and she'll work with you, and she knows a lot. So yeah, get out there, work with Branding with Karimah. And thank you so much for being here on Inspired Talks podcast. I know we're missing Lorena.
It's fine, Lorena. Next time we get you, girl. No, and thanks for having me. Did you think when we were dancing back in the day it would end up like this? Man, life's funny.
No, because like even me with my journey, I'm like, that's why I do this, is because I'm like, well, I was always very quiet and kind of not meek exactly, but I'm, you know, soft spoken. Yeah. And so this is me facing that fear of me facing it like head on and being like, I'm going to speak and I'm going to have something to say and people are going to listen. And, you know, I'm going to have like a positive group of people that follow and listen to what I have to say with my people that are making and doing great things in this world. So yeah, that's my therapy. So your therapy too is like your newsletters and your sharing and sure. Doing this. So this is kind of like that for me as well. But you know, not being that selfish, you're selfish, you know, obviously, right? Doing things for yourself, but in service, right? Always like, you know, your why and why are you doing that, you know? And because I am in a service-based business, very much like you, we want to give, we want to be able to serve and, you know, make changes in people's lives and see everyone win, you know? So
I mean, the money is out there, the opportunity is out there, and it's enough for everyone. And I truly, I want to say years ago, I didn't believe it. I was like, there's 2 spots and there's not. I'm like, one's taken and the next is for me. And it's like coming from that just lack mindset just had me so miserable for so long. I truly believe there's enough for everyone. And if you want it, it's there for you to get. I don't think there's any chosen ones. I don't think that it's just Beyonce and Rihanna. I think it's all of us as long as we want it and you hone your craft and you're good. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but like the knowing that it's going to happen is all you need. And determination and classes. Y'all know what I mean. Like, don't be going on American Idol with never taking a singing class.
Yeah, you guys know, you know. So thank you so much, Karimah. And yeah, I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube. So whoever's, you know, out there in YouTube land live, thank you for watching. And if you're watching back, awesome. So check her out. We'll put all the links and we'll see you next time on Instagram.